I don't I don't know how comfortable I was just with you two leaning up against each other, let alone the pregnancy grab that Sean just tried to do.
Oh, you should have seen him earlier,
You
man.
calling me pregnant?
No, just the action that he was doing with his hand while caressing your stomach.
You're
I was just sitting here earlier. He just came up and just started cuddling right away. I'm like, all right.
is that wrong?
No, I'm just letting him know what he missed. He was just not here to see that. You're not
Sometimes,
witness that part.
sometimes the boys
That
get cuddle, bro.
that does sound like a missed opportunity.
Sometimes the boys gotta touch each other's belly like the other one's pregnant. You know, it's a thing.
You called me pregnant, and that's all I'm getting out of this conversation.
I mean, that's fine if that's the way you want to take it.
I'm gonna cover my belly the rest of the fucking show.
This is why Tybo's webcam only shows his face. He doesn't like going in business.
It's not a flattering angle for me, okay? Oh, we might be a little
uh,
late to the party, but lots of trades and acquisitions already in the 2026 NFL football season.
2026. That's
A lot of
correct. The new
backing out of
league
trades
year
as well
started.
too. Well, actually, not a lot, but at least one.
One very big one.
We're a little late, but we're going to give you the full comprehensive list. We're also going to notate exactly who is still a notable free agent, what teams may still be looking for, and obviously we'll be finishing off with deep insights of the Chiefs and looking forward to the draft. Hopefully, we can bring in some of our friends of the show who also know the draft and college ball as well as we get either a little bit closer, or a little bit after, figure out exactly how some of these teams did.
I mean, we had what 3 weeks off of football essentially, and we're right back to it. Like NFL is not taking any breaks anymore. They're
Well,
trying
no,
to
it's
make
not taking any
the off
breaks.
season like the NBA is.
I mean, not only that, but they're going to be adding in more games, even potentially up to this season, including a pre-Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving Eve game.
Which is
It'll be a
stupid.
game on
Oh,
Wednesday,
is that the game
Thursday.
that they're saying they're adding football on Wednesday?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
stupid.
so they're going to be adding in Thanksgiving Eve, and then they'll also be doing obviously multiple games on Thanksgiving.
Call it what it
We've
is. It's Blackout Wednesday, okay?
Blackout Wednesday. We've got multiple games on Thanksgiving Day. You've got multiple games on Black Friday. You've got no games on Saturday, and then the rest of the slate on Sunday. And obviously, the Sunday slate of games is going to be probably really bad, like it was this past year, just because they're going to be pushing
Way
all
worse.
the good games into the prime time
So much
games
worse.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
We were a proper country one time and had all our football on Sundays.
We're forgetting Monday. Monday night. Monday night.
Monday
That happens, but
night.
we don't have it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I
Well,
do also just want to say that the phrase legal tampering is like
really
it
dumb.
it fucks with my mind, man. It doesn't it's an oxymoron. Like
You can't tamper
I don't know.
beforehand, but you can legally tamper in these
I don't
hours right here.
I don't know why we just don't start free agency at the legal
right.
tampering window.
I don't
You know,
yeah,
people
Um,
can back out of trades if they want to.
we'll get there. We'll get there. But I like even just from a standpoint of like bookkeeping, it doesn't really make any sense. Just open it up. The guys who are going to the new teams have clearly already been in conversation up until that
No,
point.
not until it's legally allowed.
They their representatives have been in conversation up until that point. For them to be able to sign immediately as the legal tampering window opens, there's no reason just to not have it open, other than the semantics of the league year doesn't start until this
right.
date.
They're just calling it one thing to like spice it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
I mean,
sounds dramatic.
I don't hate it. It does generate clicks and views and talking points, but also it's just incredibly stupid because then we end up with the Ravens.
I
But
saw I saw a
first,
video that essentially said they traded Max Crosby and 2 first-round picks for Trey Hendrickson.
pretty much.
If Max Crosby does not get a thank you video dedicated from the Ravens, I'm going to be pissed off.
We'll get there because there's some more information that's
Or
coming out
no,
about that.
they traded Max Crosby for 2 first-round picks and Trey Hendrickson. That's what it was.
Yes, I picked up what you were putting down.
Yeah, I didn't though.
Uh,
I didn't pick up.
Before we get there, I'm actually kind of excited about a couple moves that have happened in this division, starting in the AFC West. With the Bills, I think that's the only trade that has happened with three out of the four teams here. The fourth team really doesn't matter in the Jets.
Talk about the Bills.
AFC East. Did I say the West? You know what I meant.
West. That's the
You know
first
what I
fine
meant.
of the season. First fine of the 2026
It's not like you're
NFL
going to keep
season.
track
Hey,
anyways.
Guess what? I could actually see what's happening and see what he does whenever somebody does get fined. It's all up here. I guarantee you.
It's all up here. He's clearly not marking it down already.
It's marked.
Right here.
It's there.
Right here.
Right here.
I am a fan of
every
the Bills.
show I'll just start putting tallies on my forehead, like if that'll satiate you guys.
No regrets.
Classic.
I'm a fan of the DJ Moore trade from the Bills. They needed a wide receiver. A lot of people say that they overpaid for him for what was it, a second round pick. Um, I, I don't know if that's an overstatement in the trade. I don't think that's an overpay. It's a second round for a guy who's consistently been a competitor and output. He may have been a loser, but he's been on loser teams. Now he goes to a team that has been a winner of their division, making it into the playoffs, at least winning one game, not making it to the Super Bowl. You can call them a loser all you want there, but they have won perennially since getting Josh Allen. That's something that they needed because Keon Coleman is not it. He hasn't been it. I've been saying he's not it since he was at FSU. And they're going to rely on Khalil Shakir. No, he's a wide receiver 3 on most teams. And that's not saying he's a bad player. He's just a wide receiver 3 on most teams, and he's been bolstered into a wide receiver 1 position because the rest of their core sucks.
I also don't think we can diminish DJ Moore's contribution to the Bears. Like they didn't go
Absolutely.
win the Super Bowl, but like they had a successful. I mean, they're the damn 2 seed, right? Yeah. Going into the playoffs this past season. So,
but I guess we're not really talking about the Bears right now anymore. It's all about the Bills. It does help the Bills out a lot for this in the situation of getting a receiver, and it is a proven guy. They would not have been able to get a guy that would be able to be up to speed with what the Bills want to do on offense in the second round. So trading that pick was perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
DJ Moore had like 2 or 3 years left on his current contract as well too. Like he's
got a few years left on his contract. It fits right into the cap space, and he's only 28 years old. Like receivers' longevity is going further and further. The closer we get to the timeline that we're in now. I mean, receivers used to not, outside of a handful of guys, go that long. Their longevity outside of the upper echelon wasn't great. Now we're getting receiver lifetimes and careers extending up to this point. So we could see him play until he's 34 and still be producing.
Not with the Bills though.
I didn't say on the Bills. I just said his age. Who else did they bring in? Not really any notable name at quarterback. Obviously, they've got Josh Allen, a former.
They did the most Bills thing ever and signed an old pass rusher who's going to get hurt.
Yeah, they did bring in Bradley Chubb. I was getting ready to go there. They also did the old thing in signing CJ GJ to a 1-year, $6 million deal. I was going to look at it. I don't think Bradley Chubb is that old.
He's been in the league long enough. He has a history.
He's 29.
Huh?
He is 29, and he does have that injury history with the Dolphins. Then again, it is also just the Dolphins. They took on a guy last year who had an injury history, who is still a free agent that's available at defensive end. Joey Bosa is still available. He played for a majority of last season. So sometimes you just have to get these guys out of where they were to kind of see what they could do as well. Sometimes they just need a change of scenery, maybe a change in athletic training staff. Never know. They did sign him to a good 3-year, $44 million deal. So
which
Never
is
know
so
what you can
crazy
pull
though,
out of
because
that.
the Dolphins still got rated very highly on their most recent report, did they not? They were like the number one ranked team as far as the report came out.
For the you mean the player report?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were ranked pretty highly, but again, how given the league stance on that, how accurate is that information? Is it going to keep coming out? I mean, who the hell knows?
With the DJ Moore move, this season there's just like less room for excuses for the Bills. You add DJ Moore to the receiving core that already includes Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, like Josh Allen loves throwing to those tight ends, and Khalil Shakir. Like you got a solid set of receiving options, and like there's no longer the excuse of, oh, I didn't have a good receiver, or I didn't have a wide receiver one. So
Yeah, I mean,
if they don't have a successful season, like there's not very much room for excuses, in my opinion.
but here's the thing though: is would you consider DJ Moore a better receiver than Stephon Diggs was on the Bills?
No,
no.
he's close, but I like Stephon Diggs while he was on the Bills is better than DJ.
I don't even think
You
it's
know
close.
exactly what you know exactly what you're getting out of the Bills offense now, because you have a receiver who was not as good as Stephon Diggs, and you know that you're not gonna be able to make the Super Bowl.
I
That's all a
honestly
bunch of
don't think
failures
they
for
have
the
a better
Bills.
defense than they did either. They're aging. They haven't really replaced a lot of areas. Again, they bring in Bradley Chubb, who's very good, but injury prone. Their DBs are still pretty weak, especially after last year. I don't think that they even got better from this past season, which was already weak to the years prior. Um, the expectation for them, honestly, where do you go if you're a Bills fan? You didn't have Patrick Mahomes. You had a wide open AFC to the Super Bowl. You've got Josh Allen. You don't really have any injuries. Yes, Khalil Shakir is your wide receiver number one, but your defense stayed predominantly healthy, and you couldn't really do anything in the playoffs. I don't it like the expectation for Bills and Bills fans. Don't care if this makes you mad. Should not be Super Bowl or bust. Regardless of what you do, you can trade up and get the best receiver or whomever in the draft. Your expectations should not be for the Super Bowl until realistically you get the defense shored up, and that's going to take way more than what you have.
Or that you should not think of the Super Bowl if you're a Bills fan until you actually beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
That too. That too.
Your aspiration
Don't
to make
expect
it
us to not be there again.
So, moving on through the AFC East, my second favorite quarterback signing, Malik Willis to the Dolphins. And I would have had Malik Willis as my second favorite quarterback signing, regardless of where he went, just because I want to see what Malik Willis can do as a starting quarterback. I enjoyed what I saw of him on the Packers last season. I think a lot of people did, which is why he was one of the most sought after quarterback signings.
Well, that's the craziest thing is who would have thought that the Packers GM that left went to Miami, and then the Packers coach who left and is now coaching the Dolphins brought in a Packers quarterback. Who would have thought that would have happened?
Not this guy. I didn't know that.
I don't know what I've seen from Malik Willis over the years. I really like it clearly didn't start off well in Tennessee, but that's Tennessee. Nobody has played well in Tennessee. You get him into Green Bay, and like we have all clearly been in agreement that Jordan Love is not a good quarterback. Mid-tier, upper mid-tier at best, at absolute best,
Mid-tier best, yeah.
very mid-tier. Malik Willis went in and did just as good of a job covering for Jordan Love while he was out.
The offense was catered to him though at that point. Like he ran like a slightly they didn't have the same type of play calling as they did when Jordan Love was in there.
No, definitely not. But he is also the backup quarterback, so they're not going to.
That's what you do. You cater your playbook and your play style to the quarterback who's in. Miami, when Tua went down, catered to Skylar Thompson and the other 17 quarterbacks that were there. In Washington, when Jalen Daniels went down, they catered to Marcus Mariota. So on and so like that happens all the time. It's just what do you see when you're out there on the field? I think Malik Willis played just as good as
And I
Jordan
think
Love.
this is the perfect contract for Malik Willis. Willis, if you're gonna give him a starting opportunity in the league, it's a
I think
2 year
this is a great
contract.
contract for both parties.
Yeah, you can go ahead and see if he would be a future starter for you, or he is the perfect bridge quarterback to go ahead and lead you through these next 2 years.
Yeah,
He
you look
knows
at
that
this deal.
here.
It's 3 years, $68 million. That's it's roughly around $22 million a year. But he's only guaranteed 45, which means that that's over a 3 year period. You're paying a quarterback teens of millions over a 3 year period. Realistically, this is a 2 year deal with a third year option or third year void year, however you want to look at it. I think it's fantastic. They also go ahead and bring in Tutu Atwell, even though they've gotten rid of Tyreek. You still have Jalen Waddle. You do have Devin Achan at the running back position. They brought in Josh Uche, who former Chief, didn't really play that much. Had a fantastic season last year with the amount of pressure that he was able to put up. I think that's a solid replacement for Bradley Chubb, given Chubb's injury history. Other than that, no real notable in my mind,
It's
acquisitions.
notable that they signed two different guys that are named Zane, and they spell it differently.
That's cool.
You only spell Zane so many ways, and you managed to get
It's very Gen Z. Get it? Gen
Two of the what? 3 ways that you can spell it? 4 ways?
You shouldn't spell it at all. It's a terrible name. Let's just get that out of the way. Zane?
Bro, shout out the Zanes.
Bro.
Don't be disrespecting all the Zanes out there. Jeez.
Zane?
If your name is Zane and
your mother named you
your parents hate
Zane,
you.
bro. What?
They were hoping you would have a tough life.
And I'm also hoping that you have a tough life.
He did you no favors.
Yeah.
No, I think the biggest, best quarterback move for this offseason was actually for the New York Jets, in my opinion.
Oh, you're going straight to the Jets.
Oh,
not the Super Bowl makers?
No. You go out and you get a former first-round draft pick who had some promise early in their career, and you bring him back and you put him on your team. What can go wrong?
Is he going to break his jaw again? Is the question.
No, he's not going to get into a fight again. That's not going to happen. He may get punched again, but he won't break his jaw. He knows how to handle that.
From that story, we can just conclude that Geno Smith isn't that good of a guy.
I mean, he's never been punched again. Maybe it was the other guy's fault.
Invited to a charity event.
In the league, like pretty much right after that, wasn't he?
Invited to a charity event.
Yes.
Homie paid for his plane tickets and he didn't show up. That's not
cool. I hadn't heard about that.
And then when confronted about it, he like dismissed it. Like it didn't happen. That's why he got punched.
He doesn't write back. We know that.
Does he punch back?
No.
Clearly not.
That's why he had a broken jaw.
Whatever the opposite of a comeback player of the year is, that's going to be Geno Smith.
I mean, yeah, it's not going to help him in his offense. They do have Garrett Wilson tied up for a while. They brought in Adonai Mitchell, who clearly is a very good talent out of Texas. I thought he was coming out of Texas the best receiver on that team. I thought he was better than Xavier Worthy. There were some health questions, but more importantly, there were attitude questions about Adonai Mitchell. You can figure that out as an organization. You might have a really, really solid player. I just don't think it's the Jets who are going to figure it out because clearly the Colts couldn't either. So
I don't. Adonai Mitchell in the NFL so far has not had a better short career than Xavier Worthy.
No. I'm saying just from a talent perspective coming out of college.
But he can't catch the ball in the NFL. So
yeah. Again, attitude problem. But I agree with you there. I don't think the Jets are going to be the team that turns him around, unfortunately. But if you could, that would be, I think, the fix to a lot of those issues. They go out and they get Tavondre Sweat from the Titans. Very, very, very good defensive lineman.
if you
I was
have
surprised.
The last name Sweat, you're going to be good at football.
They did send off Jermaine Johnson, a guy who I wanted for the Chiefs a couple of years ago out of the draft. Obviously, couldn't make that work. Um, and then they go out and they get Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think his best years are behind him. They did give him a 3-year, $40 million extension. I think that's a little rich for one, a safety, two, a safety nearing his 30s, if not in
Well,
his
you're forgetting
30s.
the biggest thing though for the secondary for this team. Minkah Fitzpatrick had 1 interception last year. They also ended up signing Nashawn Wright
They
with
just need
5
one. They
interceptions
just need
last
one.
year.
They just need one.
They
They
just
just
need
need
one.
one.
So they're going to overpay for a guy who got a
Got a
interception.
single interception.
Well, guys, they did make a ton of moves. They brought in Andre Cisco, who is a big time guy who from the Jaguars, who is a dirty, cheap shotting guy. That could give their defense maybe a little bit of grit in New York.
I
Another couple
mean,
of guys. Go ahead.
Minkah Fitzpatrick plus signing Demario Davis, I think, is two solid starting caliber veteran presences on that defense. Just helpful for a
Yes,
team that's struggling and probably is going to rely a lot on younger guys. But those two veteran presences are paramount in my opinion.
I do like the Demario Davis pickup. I'm distraught by Joseph Osai going there and not being a Chief, really by any of the big name defensive ends that were available. Joseph Osai is very, very good. And that is a fantastic deal to get him to. And then signing that they made that I would have loved to have had either on a 1-year deal that he signed with the Jets or a multi-year deal. Kingsley Ingabare.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of him, especially with the short deal that he got. Would have brought him in on a 1-year prove it deal, could have gotten him on a multi-year extension. He's had some injuries here and there, but the talent that he puts out there far outweighs the injury issues that he's had. Ultimately, I think this is actually a really good job by the New York Jets, kind of Raider-esque in overhauling some of the big areas that they need. I think they do have the defensive minded coach to get the job done. I just don't know if he's a head coach.
I mean, the guy that was falling asleep at was it the combine?
It's the combine. You're falling asleep on your couch watching that thing. That guy, that's it's honestly it's
Yeah, but
more
I'm not an
impressive. He
NFL
was
head
able to
coach.
fall asleep in the stands. Those uncomfortable chairs. It was actually a little bit more impressive.
And so, other than bringing back Geno Smith, I do think a lot of these moves are positive, something you don't see a lot of out of a New York football organization. Positive things that look like they might actually be helping them.
They're preparing for the 2027 draft. Honestly, they're just stacking up pieces so they can have some sort of relevance whenever they go ahead and try to tank for Arch Manning or another quarterback.
But I was gonna come
Yeah.
around to say that like even some of the other Jets teams in recent history that we might have been like, oh, on paper, like they might have a decent roster. It just hasn't come to fruition in the season. So it's all for me and the Jets. It's always I won't believe it until I see it. So
It's because we've never seen it.
right.
Let's finish off with the Super Bowl losers out of the AFC East here. Big signing for Elijah Vera-Tucker on the offensive line. Very, very much needed for them. A very big player, veteran guy who will come
they
in.
need him to play left tackle. Let's be honest.
Yeah, hopefully that rookie can get it figured out. I think he's going to be Will Campbell's going to get it figured out. He's very good, has a solid mentality, but
His arms aren't
could
long enough, man.
He's too small. He needs to go
could use
like
some help,
add on 50 pounds. Like go
and he
eat
needs to
in the
get it
off
faster.
season, bud.
He needs to get faster too. The Romeo Doubs pickup for them was very interesting. They are hurting at wide receiver. Obviously, Stephon Diggs isn't there, so that hinders them quite a bit. We don't
I did a
know.
little bit of research into
Yeah,
separation stats a couple weeks ago. Like I was just getting into my own little rabbit hole primarily pissed off that the Chiefs receivers can't get separation, but Romeo Doubs is actually up there at the top of the league at getting separation. So
Shows he's got a bad quarterback or had a bad
yeah,
quarterback.
he's a nice acquisition for sure.
I was hoping that we could get him. Obviously, 4 for 70 is outside of the Chiefs' price range with the other needs that we have. But the Patriots got themselves a solid pickup there. I think they're still going to need a little bit of work at the receiver position. Um, I think the move that I am most jealous about here, and we did go and pick up a safety that I'm pretty happy about. I think this guy could have partnered with the guy that we picked up, Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard, 1 year deal for about $9 million. Pretty sad that we couldn't have gotten a deal around there done for Kevin Byard, especially a guy who's a ball hawk, can literally play every single defensive back position on the field and roll into a nickel as well. He's a big guy, can play the linebacker position. I think he fits the Spags defense really, really well. I think they got themselves a really good veteran pickup there.
The only thing with him though is his age does not fit what the Chiefs do with the secondary. So
Yeah, I fully get that. In the same vein, you still need a veteran, which we got. We'll get to that later on. I just think that could have rolled in with the amount of talent that we lost. I get he doesn't fit the mold, but sometimes you got to dive around the mold to make it work for the time being.